Okay, welcome to It's Getting Better All the Time Mental Health Outreach, providing information and support, providing information support while encouraging hope and faith. I wanted to take a minute to share with you. I'm hoping that you guys can see it here. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Let's see if I can just make this a little bigger for you. Um, Okay. Many times, and I'll just read it so you know that you can go to the website. So many times, a person will be doing well, and then as soon as they start doing well, they stop doing the things that they did to get well, right? So if you were going to a meetings, people will stop going to a meeting. If you will stop talking to your pastor, your therapist, or your friend, they'll stop doing that, right? If you knew that when you first said you wanted to stop drinking, that you shouldn't be around certain places, so you stop that. But now, as time goes on, you think you're feeling better, you start um, backsliding in a sense. So again, it's really important to ensure that you stick to a treatment plan, even if you feel better. The second thing they have here is keep your primary care physician updated. It's so important that you have a primary care doctor and that you're in connection with that person. You want to learn about the condition as much as possible. You need to learn about your mental health condition. What is the doctor saying? Okay, I'm depressed. I have schizophrenia. Whatever it is, you want to learn about it. You want to find out the best treatment strategies. You want to talk to other people who have the same illness. You want to learn as much as you can about that particular illness, right? You want to practice good self-care, reach out to family and friends, develop coping skills, and get enough sleep. All of these things are important when we're talking about managing an illness. So I wanted to definitely share this website with you. Again, one of the things we do here is providing information and support while encouraging hope and faith. We want to make sure that we educate, that we let you know what the resources are out here. I'm going to share this screen one more time. Okay. I'm going to share this one more time. This is SAMHSA website, samhsa.gov. Go to mental health. They have other information here as well, but they have other information here that you can read. Again, get enough sleep. Sleep is so important. Developing coping skills. Coping skills are so important. One of the big factors in a lot of illnesses is stress. So managing your stress, learning how to do that. What is stressful to you? What is stressful to me may not be stressful to you. So you can't necessarily go by what I feel is stressful. Just like the trauma. What's traumatic to you may not be traumatic to me. So again, what are your stress triggers? What are things that are stressful to you? And you want to begin to develop coping skills, whether it's prayer, whether it's talking to someone, whether it's actually doing something about it. I always encourage people that when you find yourself feeling really anxious or worried about something, pull out a pen or paper and begin to write. Okay, on one side, this is what I'm worried about, and then on the other side, begin to brainstorm how can I solve this problem. Don't think about, what you don't have or I can't do this. Again, just start thinking about what do I need to solve this problem? And begin to write things down, begin to see it. Because what makes the stress, the anxiety so big or seem to be so big is because our minds are just going in circles. Our minds are just racing. We're going from one thought to the other. And we have to get into the habit of stopping those thoughts and begin to challenging those thoughts with data, right? All right. Yeah, I could lose my job. All right. Pull out a pen and paper. Well, what would happen? What would be the worst thing? Okay, I would be homeless. Okay, what can you do now? What are strategies? What resources can you put in place? What resources are out there? What makes our the anxiety and stress so bad is because we make it so big in our minds. And our minds are so big because we're not challenging it, right? Once you begin to get a pen or paper, begin to strategize, begin to identify what you've already done, what can be done, what you need to do, it can make things a little more manageable for you. So developing coping skills, reaching out to family and friends, maintaining relationships with others is important. Do not listen to people who tell you you don't need people. You need people. In order to live a successful, healthy, fulfilled life, you're going to need people. It may not be the people you want. It may not be a whole bunch of people. It may not be people that you even like. But you're going to need people. Resources come through people, right? Um, so it's important in times of crisis or rough spells, reach out to them for support and help. What I would add is that don't wait until it's a crisis or a rough time. Pull out a pen or paper and begin to Look at who you have now in your circle. Well, I don't have anybody, but that's an opportunity for you to begin to develop your circle. You need a support circle. Don't let people tell you that you can do it alone. One of the things, it's so ironic that when we look at the recent research that's coming out, how people talk about how lonely they are. Well, many times we've created that. We as a society, we have created this epidemic of loneliness. How have we created it? Because we have allowed the negative things that have happened to us in our life. We have allowed those things to put us in a position where we put up a wall, where we put up defense mechanism. And I don't need nobody. So now after 30, 40 years of not needing anybody, or I can be by myself and I can just call DoorDash, now we have an epidemic of loneliness, right? That we created. We always need people. God has never created people to be alone, okay? You need people. Good mental health is good, it's important. You need it to be around people that are helpful. People can provide resources, people can provide support, people can tell you, what they've tried. You can learn from other people, and more importantly, you can allow people to learn from you. So again, it's important to remember that it's good self-care, controlling your stress, learn about your condition is so important. Sticking to a treatment plan. Again, I just wanted to share this with you. This is from the SAMHSA website as we talk about not taking care of our mental health. And just list a few. What is mental health? Mental health conditions, early warning signs and symptoms. Things that when you find yourself or your loved one engaging in, that you might want to kind of pay attention to. And these are some big ones here, right? I always tell people change, CHANGE, is a big thing. When you notice a change, eating or sleeping too much or too little, something different from what you used to do, it's a change. Pulling away from people and usual activities. This is one of the strategies that happens a lot. When we talk about those of you again who follow us, I know I have a new audience. You know that we're a faith-based organization. This is one of the strategies to when anytime you can you're in a situation where you're pulling away from people, you are a prime candidate. You're a prime candidate to be totally destroyed. You are in a prime. You're pulling away from other people. When you find yourself doing this, you are pulling away from strength. You are pulling away from an additional source. You're pulling away from your resource. And when you're pulling away from other people, when you find yourself isolating, you are find yourself in a situation where you can only engage with your thoughts. The only thing you know are your negative thoughts. The only thoughts that you have are what happened in the past, how people treated you, how people are mean, how people are unkind. When you are by yourself, you look for things in the news, you look for situations to reinforce your negative thought. See what I'm saying? I told you marriage doesn't work. They get divorced after 40 years, right? You look for negative things to reinforce your negative feelings. When you isolate yourself, you don't have the advantage of having other people around you to kind of break those thoughts. When you're isolated by yourself, it's all about negative thoughts, negative feelings, critical thoughts, critical feelings. You putting up this wall. You find yourself being in a situation where you're against people. You have young people against older people. You have millennials against baby boomers or whatever they are. You have blacks against whites, gays against straight. You have people because of these negative thoughts, these critical thoughts that we have allowed to fester in our mind. You do not want to take a negative situation and build a doctrine out of it. You don't want to take what happened to you in the past, the assault, the rape, the negative things that people have said to you, and build a lifelong doctrine that makes you think that everybody's insane, that the world is insane, that nobody out there is kind, that everybody out there is mean. As soon as somebody says something to you you don't like, they got to be a narcissist, they got to be this, or we label people negatively. Again, we don't want to build a doctrine out of pain. We don't want to do that. And unfortunately, that happens when we pull away from other people. Um, it can cause us to, it puts us in a situation where we don't have any help. far as thought wise, right? Emotionally, the only thoughts, the only emotions that we have are our own negative thoughts and emotions. So again, pulling away from people and usual activities is not a good thing. Having low or no energy, feeling numb or like nothing matters, right? Having unexplained aches and pains, feeling helpless or hopeless, smoking, drinking, or using drugs more than usual. Again, it's about escaping. Feeling unusually confused, forgetful, on edge, angry or scared, yelling or fighting with family members more than other times, having severe mood swings, having thoughts and memories you can't get out of your head, right? You have so many things that you have to remember. I'm a single parent, I'm doing it all by myself. You have so many things that you have to remember that if you're not careful, these thoughts will drive you quote unquote crazy because you just can't shut it off. It's like a cycle. You just keep going on and on and on. Hearing voices or believing things that are not true, thinking of harming yourself or others, inability to perform daily tasks like taking care of your kids or getting to work or school. What am I reading? These are early warning signs. This is just a few warning signs, things that can indicate that there's something going on or something that you might need to consider. Just some tips for living well with a mental health condition: sticking to a treatment plan. If you don't have a treatment plan, sticking to a schedule, coming up with a plan for your life that serves you. Not whether it's not about whether you can do it or not, like exercising. Part of my plan is every day I need to exercise. That's my plan. Now, do I do it every day? No, but it's my plan because the plan holds me accountable, right? So sticking to a plan, keeping your primary care physician updated, right? Making sure you're seeing your primary care doctor, you're getting the physical that you're supposed to have. If you're diagnosed with a mental illness, learning about your condition, how to manage it, practicing good self-care, reaching out to family and friends. If you don't have one, my family is dysfunctional, we'll create a new family. My friends don't like me, get some new friends. But being around people are important. Developing coping skills, getting enough sleep. Any thought, feeling, or behavior that makes you think that you don't need people, that is a demonic, that is an unhelpful, that is a thought that is not going to serve you well in the long run. You need to be around people. Again, we're not talking about a whole bunch of people. It could be one, right, that you talk to. It could be a volunteer group, whatever it is, engaging with people. People can help with resources. People can help provide support to you. Again, I just wanted to share this tips for living well with a mental health condition. Really, I wanted to share the SAMHSA website with you. So again, log on to that, look around. You can get some more resources, more support. Again, it's getting better all the time. Mental health outreach, providing information and support while encouraging hope and faith. You can log on to our website at igbattmho.org for more resources, more links. But you can also go directly to SAMHSA. You can to get help, to get resources. Again, it's getting better all the time. Mental health outreach with your host, Sister Ava.